Welcome to class. I'm Trevor, and I post D&D videos every week, generally on Wednesdays. In this video, I want to cover some basics for playing D&D 5th edition. I want to focus on ability scores, skills, proficiency bonus, and saving throws. It might sound like a lot, but I promise it's not that complicated. Let's start from the top with ability scores. Ability scores are these 6 categories right here: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Now, you're going to have 2 numbers associated with each of your abilities: your ability score and your ability score modifier. The score itself is going to be the larger number. The modifier will be the smaller number, either minus something, a 0, or a plus something. That's what you're going to be using almost all of the time. And that is what's going to be factored into a lot of other things down the road. Speaking of using them down the road, let's talk about skills. The skills are basically more specific versions of your abilities. So if we look at something like perception, your perception is based on your wisdom, but it's a more focused or narrow example of it. So you have your perception skill. There's little bubbles there because you might be proficient in some skills, and we'll get to the proficiency bonus soon. But skills are specific ways that you can use your abilities, and that's probably the best way to remember it. So there's one kind of corner case caveat here where your DM may have you use a skill based on a different ability score. The example that's given in the player's handbook is for intimidation, but rather than using charisma, which is the score that's tied to it according to the player, like the character sheet, you can use intimidation based on your strength. Someone who just has a looming physical presence can be very intimidating. Another example of this might be an intelligence sleight of hand or survival check. Let's say you're trying to untie or tie a very complicated knot. So instead of it being a sleight of hand or survival check that's based on your dexterity or your wisdom, it's based on your intelligence because you're trying to actually figure out, figure out how to tie or untie this complicated knot. There's a lot of flexibility and freedom here, but really, if you read the sheet or listen to your DM, it should be pretty clear. If you're asked to roll a skill check, I want to search the dead body, roll an investigation check, you're going to look at this part of your character sheet. Now, I mentioned proficiency bonuses before. If one of those skills was bubbled in, then you are proficient in it. Your proficiency bonus is something that denotes a training in a particular skill or weapon. And it increases at certain points throughout the game. From levels 1 to 4, you have a proficiency bonus of +2. From levels 5 to 8, you have +3. 9 to 12 is +4, and so on. You can see the chart here. It is really good to keep in mind that when your proficiency bonus goes up, that is probably a big moment in the game. The type of game you are playing will probably feel a little bit different because that's normally a sign that there's a lot of progression being made. Because everything that you're doing that you are skilled in is now getting a little bit stronger. Last but not least, let's talk about saving throws. So, saving throws are determined by your class, and they are essentially reactive rather than proactive. You step on a pressure plate and a dart hits you in the neck. Roll a Constitution saving throw to see how your body reacts to the poison. You grab the idol off of the table, but a boulder starts tumbling at you. Roll a Dexterity saving throw. Can you throw yourself out of the way and not get squashed by the boulder? But again, the big thing is, and your DM will always ask for it, but they are based in a reaction rather than it being something that you are actively choosing to do with your time. Spells may also call for a saving throw. If someone is trying to charm you, you may have to make a save to see if you can mentally resist the effect of their charm spell. Hopefully after this video, ability scores, skills, proficiency bonus, and saving throws all make a little bit more sense. If you have any questions for basics of D&D, drop them in the comments down below. Subscribe for more stuff like this, and as always, be safe and make smart life choices.